Hey, it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today, zooming in on a very important trait of the covert narcissist, the tool of being highly sensitive, the trait of being highly sensitive, and how they use this as a means and mechanism to be irresponsible, inaccountable, and essentially manipulate and control those very intimate relationships. Being the covert narcissist has been called a closet narcissist. Essentially, the narcissist that is rather introverted, aloof, keeps to themselves, very silent. Some people might consider it like the strong and silent type. The one who's very reserved, very sort of, keeps to themselves. They might retreat to certain areas of their home by themselves, really not involve very many people. And it is a very interesting and destructive type of narcissist to become involved with, because oftentimes the abuse has been going through the wreckage for so many years, so many months, so many years, decades even, that people do not really realize the sort of devastation that is occurring to them while they're involved with these people. The overt narcissist, the real showy boaty, showstopper type of person who is very grandiose in their thinking, outwardly so, it's easier to find those people and catch those people. But the covert narcissist operates through a much more subtle and kind of lethal sort of means. And one of these tools I find is, which has been noted by the psychological community, is the personality trait of being highly sensitive. So they come off as very meek, very vulnerable, very highly sensitive to confrontation, highly sensitive to criticism, very highly sensitive to discussion. So they really try to shy away from certain responsibilities, from a certain sort of presence to the people in their life. And so then, being highly sensitive, people don't want to upset them, hurt them, so they end up just letting a lot of things slide where things really should not slide, because their inattentiveness, their impenetrable hypersensitivity ends up really hurting people, because they end up taking on too much of the work, or just exhausting themselves in a myriad of ways, psychologically, emotionally, physically, doing a lot of the heavy lifting in the relationship, taking responsibility, for more things than they should. And then eventually what happens is, we do see, I've seen some tragic situations where people end up becoming divorced from these people, after they've, raised their kids, their grandkids, etc. And, later in life, 20, 25 years into the marriage, 30 years into the marriage, the covert narcissist will get an illness, and then it's just like they have a total twist of personality. It's like they now believe that they should deserve to be with another type of person, so they end up divorcing the mother of all their children, leaving them abandoned, basically high and dry, and then for another woman who they feel is more suited for them, someone of higher status, someone, totally different, and then, that person then ends up, maybe being married to them for a couple of years, or ends up passing away, something very tragic. So, really, you can't really underestimate the sort of hurt that these people and wounds that they can inflict. So if you notice in the covert narcissist, it's sort of a very hypersensitivity, which causes them to not want to discuss some very important things. Realize, that this is a control tactic, a manipulation tactic, which keeps them out of really providing and acknowledging the needs of others. So in other words, they're able to get off scot-free by not, being empathic to you, not understanding where you're coming from, not responding to that, and not, dealing with it. So in the many ways it can take place in terms of, the quietness, not being proactive, not addressing certain needs as they come up, or leaving all the big decisions to others so they can avoid, having to deal with it, and then go off and pursue whatever it is that they're interested in, their retreat, whatever they retreat into, whether it's their reading, their drinking, you know, etc. Their car driving, whatever it is that they do to escape. So it really leads to a lot of escapism. So please be careful of this in your relationships and identify it. And if they are hypersensitive, you know, just acknowledge them and say, you know, you're going to have to, you know, be, you know, toughen up here, because this is something that's very important and we need to discuss this. You know, we need to have this out on the table. We both need to be accountable here because something needs to be done. So if you're the one who has to bring it up to confront it, then by all means do. If the covert narcissist is so hypersensitive that they can't really discuss it or open up about it, you've got a serious issue. Peace and harmony with you here today. I hope these videos help. Please do share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussions, and support.